My head hurts. But we're gonna pack lunches. At least, you know, that's the plan anyway. First of all, we're gonna see if caffeine will help my headache, because so far Tylenol and laying down has not. So hopefully caffeine will do the job. All right, I'm gonna grab my stuff to pack lunches, and we're gonna get that going. That's the going. So my lunches are not very, what is the word I'm looking for? Exciting, or they don't vary very much week to week. I dropped my cheese and it dented, and that makes me sad. Anyway, I tend to eat the same things over and over, which take for that what you will. But I mean, I like what I like, and I don't have to put a lot of thought into it, so that's also a plus. Also, I'm weird. I don't like, okay, so this is pepperoni, and I don't like these little pieces. They just kind of squeak me out, so we're just gonna forget those exist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I usually do a couple of like snack box type things where it's like crackers, pepperoni, and cheese with some kind of vegetable, which reminds me I gotta get my other veggies out of the fridge. And usually a fruit. That's usually one lunch for one day. I usually do those a couple of days a week, and then I also do like a wrap. 5, 6. Again, they're not like exciting or very varied, but they are what they are. I also realized my audio probably sucks, so I'm gonna actually go grab my AirPods. Now hopefully the audio will be better. We're gonna see. Alright, so again, I usually do like a couple snack boxes, couple wraps, and then one day a week is kind of varied. It could be like an Uncrustable, it could be, I don't know, whatever else I want to do, a peanut butter and jelly. It's just like a random day. Anyway, these are my favorite types of wraps. I like the wheat ones too, but I just picked up flour this time. These are so good. They are soft. I keep them in the fridge and they stay good for a very, very long time. And I like them. They're also sticking together, probably because they've been in the fridge. So that's interesting. They're like really wanting to stick today. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's all gonna be okay. We're just gonna take them out of the package and peel them off this way. I never have this issue when I do this without trying to film content or film it. I never have it. Look at that. What even happened there? I don't even know. Anyway, and I don't buy these. I know they say carb balance, and I don't buy them because they are carb balance. I buy them just because I like them. They're not huge. I like that they're smaller. I like that they're soft, and I like that they hold up very well, and they last a good while. So, okay, moving on. My mom gifted me 2 packages of cheese that she had opened. Normally, I buy provolone. It's the Food Lion brand provolone cheese, and I usually just eat that. Because I like provolone cheese. But she gave me these because she said there's no way she and my dad could eat them before they would go bad. So she gave them to me instead. So here I am eating the cheese. So there was medium cheddar and then also baby Swiss. Sometimes I'll buy different types of cheese. Usually though, I stick with the same thing. I'm a very boring person. Overall, I eat the same things over and over and over. And I'm fine with that. I've done that a lot. So yeah. I'm about to finish off this pack. It looks like I'm not doing a huge lunch. I don't eat a huge lunch usually. I usually have a very small lunch or lighter lunch because I like to eat larger meals towards the end of the day, which I know is backwards from what all the powers that be say you should do. But that's just how I do it. I like having snacks in the afternoons and evenings. And throughout the day, so this is just how it ends up happening. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So a few years ago, I did Weight Watchers, and you probably can't tell that by looking at me now. Anyway, I did Weight Watchers, and these are a few lunches that I actually came up with when I was doing that. And I would find that doing like a half a serving of pepperoni with crackers, cheese, a wrap, whatever, was a great like low calorie way to have lunch and to be full, and I liked it. So it's kind of stuck around since then. I will occasionally eat leftovers for lunch. I don't even know what I'm doing. Occasionally I'll eat leftovers for lunch. Sometimes I will eat leftovers for dinner instead, rather than doing them for lunch. That's just, I like that. These are also very easy to eat at my desk, because usually I'll eat at my desk and then go take my full lunch break doing whatever I want to do, whether that's reading, doing an errand, whatever. So this week, I am taking Crunchmaster Multi-Seed, and these are actually everything flavor. I've never had these before. I usually get just the regular ones. 4. So, actually, the serving is 13 crackers. So I was trying to count out like a serving or half a serving, and it's actually, I have like these perfectly cut in half, so, or broken in half. So we're gonna get those 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half. I have some other everything crackers that I've been trying to use up, and honestly I've gotten a little sick of them. So that's why I'm switching to these for this week. Even though they're both everything flavor, we're gonna go with it. So there are, and I never fold these very well. I also will unroll them to add in any veggies, sometimes like lettuce or peppers, bell peppers. I'll throw those in. Those are all great. Speaking of bell peppers, I forgot to get those out of the fridge. So let me grab those. I just realized how like so done with everything that I sound at this moment. And honestly, it's because my head hurts and I'm just not feeling it. All right. Cucumbers. I eat cucumbers every week. I love cucumbers. Me and cucumbers. A love story for the ages, right? So I usually buy a couple large cucumbers or a thing of like the mini cucumbers, and I'll just cut them up and eat them as like a side, sandwiches or wraps. or like my snack boxes, whatever, or just eat them plain. Also, my hands are clean. It's fine, totally fine. And usually I try to be a little better about dividing these up so that I'm getting like half a cucumber, 3/4 of a cucumber. Today I don't care. It's just like, oh look, there's cucumber in this bowl. This works. And I usually keep plenty of snacks and stuff in my drawer at work, so I'm not ever gonna starve. I mean, that's not gonna happen. I'm just rambling pointlessly as I'm doing this because reasons. That looks about even-ish. Maybe a little lighter on these, so we'll take a little bit more on that, a little bit more here. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna throw a couple more in there and call it done. Gonna dump excess water out of my cucumber bowl. And then these cucumbers I will eat with like dinner, because one of my favorite things in the summer is to eat spinach dip with cucumber and bell pepper. So I will keep these, or I'll make cucumber sandwiches, something out of these for dinner. Put these back in the fridge. Okay, now, this is gonna go, I totally forgot to put cucumber in a thing to have on Friday. We get the cucumber back out of the fridge. Woo, and hit the fridge door. This is chaos. This is chaos. All right, so now we're gonna put that in a bowl. Dump more excess water out of the cucumber bowl. We're gonna put that in a bowl for Friday. That's why I had so much cucumber left over. It's because I had not put enough in for lunches. Okay, that is Fridays. Okay, now we're gonna go with this bell pepper. And this bell pepper was given by a super sweet family friend from her garden. Ooh, they smell so good. They smell delicious. My normal knife that I use is dirty. So, I know this is not the greatest knife because it's a Perry knife, but I'm just cutting up bell pepper. It's fine. It's totally fine. We're just gonna cut this into some strips. That must have been a humongous pepper. Just saying, that had to be massive. Also, please don't judge my cutting techniques. Just don't do it. Just don't. Just don't. I know it's not amazing, but it works. All right, so I'm gonna put a couple strips of bell pepper in for that. Couple strips in here with this one, and then I'll put the rest in for my sandwiches. to get them a little even. Good enough. And okay, so that's pretty much it. So I will eat the bell pepper with the crackers and cheese, pepperoni, all that good stuff. Also, I was gonna show, see, again, this video is chaos. These are some of my favorite like lunch boxes ever. Sometimes I'll put apple in here instead of veggies. I'll put vegetables here and like the pepperoni and cheese in this one. And then have my crackers in a separate container. I've done sandwiches in this side. I've done all kinds of different combinations. So I absolutely love these. They are some of my favorites. I use them all the time, obviously. These are also some of my favorites. I got these at the dollar store, I believe, Dollar Tree. And it's just two sides, and they're also great for sandwiches and whatnot. I've even done like pasta or rice on this side and other things. But I like I said, I'm very boring. I eat the same things over and over and over, and it just is what it is. So that's lunches for the week. I have one more sandwich in the freezer that I'm gonna eat on Friday, and that's it. So now let's move on to breakfast. I should call this like chaos cooking or chaos prepping. I don't even know anymore. Don't even know. I just realized didn't get enough of these out. So last week, I'm just reaching for my other container. Last week I did blueberries and yogurt with granola, and I chose this granola. It was on sale and there was a coupon, so it was cheap. It's also really good. So I did those for breakfast last week and very much enjoyed it. So I decided to go with that again this week. I will say my breakfasts are sometimes a little more varied than lunches. Sometimes. Also, I am sort of measuring, but not measuring. It's not like a hard and fast rule. But I usually do like 2 tablespoons of this with a cup of, or a thing of yogurt. I guess it's a cup. It's like a pre-packaged yogurt, because I'm lazy. So I will do that and blueberries, and that's breakfast for a few days. So I also was like so proud of myself yesterday because I washed my blueberries for a week and put them in containers. There's another one in the fridge, and then realized that these are the containers I will do my overnight oats in. So we're just gonna casually move them to different bowls, and I would leave them. However, the only other bowls I have are too big, and then these are plastic, and I'm a little weary of microwaving plastic. I mean, I will, but I'm a little leery of it. I don't really know why. It's just a little squeaky to me. So I am going to put, also pro tip, if you wash blueberries or other fruits ahead of time, because I've done this with strawberries too, I just realized I've probably spent the entire video like talking with like my nose, the only thing visible. Anyway, if you put a paper towel in at the bottom of your bowl, it will help keep your berries from getting moldy or bad faster, as long as you eat them within a few days. You know, it's not gonna work for like longer than a few days. Anyway, also, I will use the napkin that was in there, like to wipe my hands on or something at lunch, so we're not wasting the paper towel. or we're trying not to. All right, so overnight oats. We're gonna do wait a minute. What is the serving of these things again? The serving is a half a cup. I thought a serving was a cup. That was about to be interesting. So we're just gonna do half a cup or half a serving. I think that was half a serving. I totally just didn't even count. And I think you're not supposed to use rolled oats when you do overnight oats. I don't care. I don't care. I think, so my kitchen scale has a handy dandy conversion thing. So a cup is 16 tablespoons, so half a cup would be 8, and then a half would be 4. So I was right. Yay, math. Yay, math. All right, so we're gonna do I totally looked at this earlier and then have lost it. We're gonna do half a teaspoon of chia seeds. Also opened my spice cabinet thing and just got hit in the face with garlic. That's great. Not that I'm complaining. I love garlic. And then we're going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon of flax seeds or fiber. And I just realized that this says I should refrigerate them after opening. That's great. I mean, totally didn't know that was a thing. Adulting, it's tough. Let's stick those in the fridge. Despite them not having been in the fridge, it's fine, it's fine. And then, I actually am gonna do that. I'm gonna do some cinnamon and sugar. Okay. And I'm just gonna do like 1/4 of a teaspoon, a little less than that. Normally I do like banana powder or peanut butter. Peanut butter. That's the word I'm looking for. Peanut butter. Usually I do like peanut butter powder or banana powder. Banana powder is amazing in these things. Or like PB2, the peanut butter powder. I'll normally do a couple of those in there. Feeling a little different this time. I thought I was going to use vanilla protein shake, but I just changed my mind. I think I'm going to do a caramel one instead. Because reasons. So, and this, again, it's not like a hard and heavy kind of measurement. Obviously, so I'm just making a colossal mess out of everything. So my overnight oats are usually not very, like I don't measure, I measure some things, but I don't measure everything. So rough estimates are fine. Rough estimates are A-okay. And so we're just gonna stir these up. I'm hoping that the cinnamon and sugar and the caramel will make it seem a little bit like a, maybe like a sticky bun, like a caramel sticky bun kind of thing. We're going for like that type of situation. And wow, that is very dry compared to this other one. I probably just failed miserably at measuring appropriately. But tis what it is. Alright, these look okay. And I'm just gonna, ooh, I may have gotten them a little sweeter than I intended. That's okay. That's okay. Totally fine. I'll eat it. It's good. So I'm gonna put lid on those. We're gonna put these back in the fridge. And that's it. That's breakfast, and then whatever's left in here, I'll either save and use in future oats, or I'll just drink it. It's fine. It won't be wasted, I promise. So that's it. That's lunches and breakfast and everything for the entire week. It usually takes me maybe 30-45 minutes to prep things for the week, and then I don't have to think about it. I can just get up, pull it from the fridge, put it in my lunch bag, and go to work. And it's amazing. That's probably the best thing I've ever started doing, was prepping things ahead of time, because it saves me in the morning, and it means that I eat healthier overall as well, or semi-healthier. I'm not going and getting fast food every day. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this chaotic meal prep with, headachy, not quite with it, Shayna. Yeah, let's put this in the fridge, get everything else prepped for the week ahead, and yeah, that's it. We're done. One of my favorite things in the summer are these. They're the little ice pops that you put in the freezer. I'm an adult and I have adult money, and I love these, so I buy them. So I recently ran out, so I decided to get a thing of them from Target. It was $5 for a box. Wasn't gonna be that much, but let me show you. I think I may have overestimated how big this box is. Pretty sure I'm gonna have enough of these to last the rest of the summer. So this is the current state of my fridge and freezer, because my power went off on Wednesday, and it was off for a good 15 hours or so before it came back. So this is everything. Obviously I've kept a few things, because I think the bread and the drinks and fruits, wraps, some of this stuff is going to be okay. The fridge wasn't open during that time. Also, these I think will be fine, because they're not refrigerated anyway. I put them in there. But yeah, so my fridge and freezer are looking a little bare, so we're gonna go and do a restock grocery trip. Not exactly something I planned on doing, but gonna do it anyway. So let's go get that done. And so we are now a little more stocked. I didn't replace absolutely everything that was ruined, and I did trade out a few things. I got waffles instead of toaster strudels that I lost, but restocked the majority of what I like and consider essentials, and also stuff for the week like cucumbers and spinach dip and the like. But yeah, $81 later. Fun. So I'm having having the worst kind of day, and I am trying just to do some things to distract myself. So I also, in the effort of trying to not spend any money, decided to redo the pins on my Ita bag. I think that's how it said, an Ita bag. Anyway, I have a thing. I love bags, and I switch bags around a lot, very randomly. And like I said, in the effort of trying not to spend money, I'm trying to just go through my container of bags and use one I already have. And I figured this would be a good candidate because I could redo the pins that I have on there and make it look nice and fresh and updated. And hopefully that will scratch the itch of wanting a new bag. So I do think I'm gonna leave my little Suit Sprite with his oh, I forgot what these are called. Compito, the Sugar Stars. I think that's it. I think it's Compito. Anyway, I'm gonna leave my little Suit Sprite there. I think everything else I'm gonna take off, and then we will go from there. And I have all of my other pins that are stored atrociously here, and we're gonna see what I can come up with. So now that I've got my pins on there, I'm trying to decide like what keychain I want to have like dangling on it. I would do D-Luke because I'm not used to them yet, but this one is a little bit bigger. I mean, compared to some, it's not, well, I guess it's not quite so big. Anyway, I have this little D-Luke that is an option, but there's that one. Obviously, this is the one I'm like leaning toward. I also have Toma, and D-Luke in here that I've not yet used. And I have plenty of options because like all of these are keychains, but like some of them are like too big, which I mean I like them, but you know these are just way too big for this bag, I think. I mean we could go with a Pokemon. I have other Pokemon somewhere. Oh, like this one. Like we could do some Snorlax. I have a lot of like these, the 3D keychains, which I love them. It's just they're very heavy, and I don't think that they do well on bigger bag or on smaller bags. On bigger bags, they're great. See, I have several of these. I have like look, there's Botan. Botan needs her moments. And Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho. I think that is from Ponyo. There's one of mine that I made during my Overwatch era. I have like this, which is Venti's Vision. It's huge. I also have Toma's Vision, also huge. D-Luke's is crooked. I gotta fix it. Trying to get all of my big ones kind of out here. Oh, I forgot about him. He's adorable. Let's see. I'm trying to keep it like simple and not just over the top. Yeah, keep it simple as I have like 15 different pins on there. I mean, there's a Yoko Kurama type of situation. There's a Jirachi. I think it's Jirachi. Oh, there's Pumpkaboo. And none of this is actually being shown. I think I'm gonna go with this little guy, who is my newest. It was, I talked about it in a previous video. It was a cinnamon roll, blind keychain. It was a Hatsune Miku collab, so I think I'm gonna go with that one. For now, may change my mind, but for now we're gonna go with that one, and then I'm gonna transfer everything from my old bag, which is sitting in this area over here, into this one, and we're gonna finish this chaotic thing. Also, I just realized he was sitting over here. I have to show this little guy off. Whoop, let me get him in camera. He is a Menekukineko. It's a cookie. It's a cookie. I'm not sure if I like the whole bell thing. And I feel like he would make a better, like, actual keychain than just something hanging on my bag. But he's adorable. It's time to wrap up this past week and talk about what I plan to do for the following week. As far as, like, continuing this No Buy July and everything. So I actually rocked the No Buy thing this past week. And there's a pretty good reason why. So I talked about it earlier, I know in a clip that I recorded, but my power went out on Wednesday of this past week, and so I ended up, I didn't stay here, I went and stayed with my parents, just because why would I stay in a house where there's no air conditioning if I don't have to? So I did go back and stay with them. And as a result, I spent pretty much nothing the entire week because I had already bought packed lunches, which I grabbed those out of my fridge and took those with me and everything. So I really didn't spend a lot of money. For the first part of the week, I did end up having to restock my entire fridge and freezer because the power had been out for so long. And a lot of what I had in there was like dairy foods. Not really wanting to risk it on that. So just ended up just replacing stuff. So I spent a little bit more as far as for groceries. But as far as like other spending, I really didn't buy anything that was not an essential. I did take advantage of a couple a Prime Day sale And I bought myself 2 dresses, which those, they're very comfortable dresses that I can wear now to both church and work. So they're very versatile, and I can even wear those into the later part of the year. So that ultimately was the only thing I think could be considered like a non-essential, was just the dresses. But I don't think those should really count against me, because those are something, I have 2 dresses similar to that style, the style that I got, and I wear them all the time. So I think these will just fall into my normal like clothing rotation and be great essentials for my wardrobe. And I do have plans to do a wardrobe like cull or revamp and pull out a lot of things. I tend to wear a lot of the same things over and over and over. And so I really think I need to like reevaluate my closet and the things in the closet, and things that I have not worn in a good while, just go ahead and let those go. And it will make more space for things that I do actually like and do wear. So that is, those dresses kind of are part of that. It's, oh, I like this style of dress. I like these. They're comfortable. They're cute. Why not go ahead and get them while they're on sale? Other than that, I did not do very well as far as the working out thing, which that is what it is. We're going to tackle this coming week with new and revived fervor. And we're just going to take the past couple weeks as a loss and just move forward from there. It's a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And so we'll get there. We'll get there. Books. Again, I crushed some books this past week. Books that I finished. I don't have this one with me. It's thundering outside my house again. I'm so over summer storms at this point. So over summer storms. Hopefully the sun is still out here, so I'm thinking that one is like that direction. So hopefully it will stay away. Just go around me. Anyway, I don't have the book with me in here, but I finished a book by Bill Engvall, and it's Just a Guy, like stories from blue collar life, tales of blue. Anyway, it's one of Bill Engvall's memoirs, and it was one I picked up at a used bookstore that has been on my list to read for a while, and so I finally made myself sit and read that one. And it was okay. I mean, it wasn't that it was necessarily bad. It was a little more dry than I was expecting, especially because I like Bill Engvall and his comedy. That he's pretty funny, and I expected it to be a little funnier than it really was. It was just very basic, and so not very thrilled with it. It was okay. It was good, but not great. Speaking of good, but not great, I also finished Tell No One, which is by Harlan Coben. And this one I don't think was like my favorite of his at all. It was good, but not great. There was one character in the book that I absolutely fell in love with. Was, he was a not a main character, but like a side character. And ultimately, you don't find out what happens to him, and it was just it felt like a cop-out to me, the way that it was put in the end of the book. It felt very much just like, oh well, and we went on with life. So not very keen on how that one ended. So again, good, but not great. As far as manga, I really need to look up how you say this word, because I feel like I say it both ways, each time. Need to look this up. I read the 3rd volume of Ouran High School Host Club. This is not a series that I'm like desperate to read. It's one of those, I picked it up at the library because there really wasn't a whole lot else available. So I picked it up because it's like, well, I do like this series, and I'll read the next one and just go from there. I also got, what am I saying? That was all that I finished for the week. And then what I am reading now, I just started the next series. I'm covering the name of my library because I don't want that shown. So just if you say, why are your fingers so weird? That would be why. I'm reading the next edition of Demon Slayer, which I found, and I am about halfway through. There's my bookmark, and working on that one. I have some other library books that I'm going to try to work on this week, as I've got the next of My Hero Academia. I've also got a couple others. I've got a Nicholas Sparks book, and then I've never read a Nicholas Sparks book, so this is one that I'm going to give it a go and see if I like his style and his type of book. And then I've got a Blake Crouch and the Golden Girls book that I talked about before. And those are kind of like the next in line. And then it's my Kindle again because I got an ebook from Book Sirens, which is a book where you can request ARC or advanced reader copies of books and review them for authors. And so I did find one that looked intriguing, so I grabbed that one and am planning to read that one this week. And now, other things that I have done this week, I have some crochet projects that I finished. I think I showed this bag before, this little like market tote. So it is officially done. It's finished as far as like the crocheting of it. I just need to sew the handle to it and weave in the rest of the ends, but that bag is completed. I also finished, other than just weaving the ends and kind of finished this plastic bag holder. You'll notice that I redid the bottom of it because I did end up running out of this tan color yarn, so I used another one, finished that one. And I moved them because I'm going to start working on them here in a minute. I have all of these are all plastic bag holders as well. I'm going to work on finishing these up to have those ready for an upcoming show that I am hoping to be in. I sent in my application for it this past week for the first part of August, and so I'm trying to work on some stock to have that ready. This is the other bag that I think I've talked about before, the larger of the tote bags. It's going to go in my pile here to be finished. And I have dishcloths that I'm going to work on finishing up. I know I mentioned these before because I called this cotton candy color, and it's not cotton candy color. It is very clearly candy corn colors. So have that. And then I have like some other ones here that I've not finished. I have this little hot pad or like coaster thing. It's gonna go in the stack here. And I'm trying to use up the yarn that I have. So this was some very thick, bulky cotton yarn. And I don't really remember why I bought it, except thinking, ooh, that'll make some nice thick dishcloths. It was a yarn eater. Like, it took so much yarn to make just this one. So I ended up doing kind of a double-stranded border around this one to finish it off to make a set. And so I'm just going to work on some stuff. I'm going to try to make some additional things to take with me to this upcoming show to have that ready. So that leads me very well into my plans for the week. I know I've already talked about books that I want to try to finish in this upcoming week. I'm also going to try to do some more crocheting to build up my stock I need to inventory all that I have and see what areas that I need to focus on, what I need to make more of, what I have plenty of, and kind of get myself together well ahead of schedule, because I am notoriously bad about waiting until the last minute to do any kind of show prep. So I'm going to try to start early, start now, get things together, and have myself prepared well in advance. Planning to just continue on the no spending for this coming week as well. One thing that I did find that I mentioned I wanted to try did end up helping me quite a bit. I ended up buying a 6-pack of drinks to keep in the fridge at work, and that kept me from going anywhere else. So a few times this past week, I was like, I'd really like to go grab a drink at the store. And I'm like, no, wait, I have one already. So that was a great idea to just kind of keep me from being tempted to go into a store. So planning to continue to try to find things like that will help me to stick to my goals and my plans. So that's pretty much the update, and looking forward to the week ahead. Pretty excited because I feel like I did great this past week, and I'm going to just continue that momentum into this next week of July and see what all we can accomplish. So hope you enjoyed this crazy update and the chaos of the videos for this weekly little vlog thing, and hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.